In news now from the Viluppuram district, a 31-year-old man has been given a double life term for raping and murdering a 3-year-old child. And this strong verdict quite aptly comes on the International Day for Prevention of Child Abuse. Though a relief, many of us are left asking the question, are our children safe today? This shocking case is just one in a long series of crimes against children. In this particular case, the convict was a guest of the young victim's neighbor. And some more news from in the state. The textile manufacturers across the country struck a work today in protest against the rising prices of textile yarn. Now, due to large-scale exports of cotton yarn, domestic yarn prices have spiked up by more than 85%. Cost of fabric production has gone up by more than 30%, leading to Indian textile majors losing their competitive edge. This has led to many industries shutting down. Madhu Bharati brings us this story.
Over 25,000 people, exporters, suppliers and workers in Tirupur striking production and observing a one-day fast in an attempt to protest government policies on textile exports. And not just in Tirupur, companies in textile sector across the country struck work on Friday. The sector is currently facing an acute crisis after an increase of 85% in cotton yarn prices in the past 1 year. Over 20% of textile export and allied industries are shut down after the resultant high price of fabric production, and tens of thousands of people have already lost their jobs.
தீபாவளிக்கு அப்புறம் ஒரு கம்பெனியும் இல்ல. இப்போ ஒன்னு ரெண்டு பெரிய கம்பெனிங்க மட்டும் மில்லு வச்சிருக்க கம்பெனிக்காரங்க ஓட்றாங்க. மில் இல்லாத கம்பெனிக்காரங்க நடுத்தருக்கு போயிடுவாங்களாட்டக்குது.
Doing the business is very difficult in Tirupur, and it is affecting for the poor people and labor classes also.
The overall textile export sector, including knitwear, wovens, made-ups, etc., is valued at 50,000 crore rupees. Experts say this has the potential to become a 1 lakh crore industry and double its employment potential, but only if the requisite cotton and yarn is available. India's estimated cotton production capacity is around 320 lakh bales, of which, after government's intervention, cotton export has been capped to 55 lakh bales. However, there is no restriction on exports of cotton yarn. Indian spinners export yarn to our closest competitors in textiles like China, Bangladesh and Pakistan, who on the contrary have a ban on yarn exports.
Immediately stop the cotton yarn export, and once there is a availability is available in the local market, then you may lift the ban.
The government battling the spectrum crisis and the textile minister from a party which is in the thick of the multi-crore scam, trouble for textile exporters could not have come at a worse time. Any response from the government can only come when the spectrum crisis waters down. The delay is only causing the shutdown of export units and more people losing their jobs. With Nesaraj in Tirupur, Madhu Bharati, NDTV.
The government is in the line of fire for more than just one reason. Even as the Prime Minister stacks up the legal muscle, the allegations of inaction and demands for a JPC probe into the spectrum scam brought by the parliamentary proceedings to a grinding halt today. The Parliament was adjourned again, with the opposition refusing to let the House function, demanding a JPC probe into the 2G spectrum scam. NETV's Sandeep Pukan caught up with AIADMK's Rajya Sabha MP Maitriyan, who is a part of the camp that has been demanding a JPC probe, and the Prime Minister to explain his stand.
Well, for nearly 10 days now, there's been no work in Parliament. For more in the story, we're now joined by AIADMK leader Dr. Maitriyan. Sir, thank you very much for talking to us. For 10 days now, you've not given the government an opportunity to explain. You want the Prime Minister to explain, but how does the Prime Minister explain if the House does not function? You simply do not. The opposition has simply not allowed the proceedings to take place.
No. Every day some startling new revelations are coming out on the spectrum scam. The role of Mr. Raja is central and pivotal. Then after that we heard that Chennai-Dubai connection, the DMK top clients supporting a real estate agent in Chennai. Now today you hear yet another startling revelation of another union minister from the DMK arm twisting the Prime Minister about the pricing of the spectrum to be kept out of the purview of the EGOM. Now, I mean, these are things which can never come under the scope of a PSC investigation. So it goes much beyond PSC. That is why the opposition has been persistent in our demand that there should be a JPC. That is the basic minimum requirement that we have been asking.
But the government is not agreeing to that, sir. Even yesterday at the Congress core group, it was decided that no question of a JPC because there is a court case going on. The CAG report is going to be examined by the Public Accounts Committee. Raja has resigned. What more do you want?
That's what I'm saying. It's beyond the scope of PSC. PSC cannot question the Chennai-Dubai connection. PSC cannot now question the various other things which have come out.
But CBI is doing, and it's being monitored.
We know how CBI has been doing for the last 1 year. This same CBI asked for 6 months more time to investigate Raja. So, but for the opposition's persistent demand, Raja would not have resigned. Even now, we will leave alone the opposition. Supreme Court is questioning the silence of the Prime Minister. Prime Minister is not only to Parliament, but he is not even talking to the Supreme Court. So that being the case, unless the government comes out with a JPC announcement, I am afraid the Parliament may not be functioning. And my apprehension is all the more important because I feel that we are slowly moving towards a possible sine-die adjournment of the Parliament probably mid next week. And if that happens, if the Parliament had to unfortunately adjourn sine-die, the responsibility solely and squarely will be on the central government.
Do you think that the opposition will come out shining in all of this? Of course, it's an issue of corruption. It needs to be debated, but there's no debate. There's no opportunity or scope for a debate.
No, see, the same spectrum issue we have been debating in the Parliament for the last more than a year. So nothing has come out of the debate. See, here we want to fix, even the CAG has said, fix responsibility and enforce accountability. So even when the Supreme Court is questioning, the Supreme Court has made a very serious observation that it is a serious matter. Right. And in spite of that, if the government takes it very casually and is so adamant, then they have to pay the price for it.
Thank you very much. So there you are, Dr. Maitreyan, making it very clear that for the opposition, nothing short of a joint parliamentary probe. So they're saying that no matter what comes, they will insist on a joint parliamentary probe, even if they have to waste parliament sessions to disruptions.
Moving ahead, much before the blockbuster movie Endiran created a flurry of interest in robots, a private school in Chennai has been imparting robotics education where concepts of mathematics, physics and chemistry are taught using a robot as a teaching aid. Now, this course also enables students to get a head start on simple robotics by building models. Lokpriya brings us this interesting report.
These students belonging to class 7 are an excited lot. Lessons in robotics is probably their favorite, which they eagerly look forward to every week. In this session, the children are learning to make their own Drizzlebot, a basic robot model for beginners.
This class is so cool, very interesting because of technologies. This is new to us actually. We have been only learning something boring, history, geography, science, but this is something new and related to technologies.
It's like doing science practically because most of the time, all these years we have been only learning science from the textbook. We have seen nothing, we have done nothing practically. So this is like, it appeals to me more.
In every session, each child is given a model that explains a concept. The children experiment with it and make value additions to the model. Trainers say the method helps children understand concepts in a practical way. The robotics class is open to students from class 6 to class 9.
Here we concentrate more on creative work, and they will not know that we are involving maths and science itself. When I say we are going to learn linear equation, they'll say, what ma'am, you are teaching regular subject. But at the end of the class, when you ask them, ma'am, we understood linear equation like anything, they'll say. So it will not be as though we are teaching maths itself, but they learn the subject without them knowing that they are learning maths.
From the next academic year, the school plans to introduce robotics-based lessons in biology, humanities and geography as well. The school says it's also planning to extend the program to primary classes. Looks like a lot of fun awaits the students of this school. In Chennai, Lokpriya, NDTV Hindu.
And finally, mall visitors at Chennai's city centre were left in awe as Mombasa boys from Africa showcased their acrobatic skills. Our reporter Chandy Thomas couldn't really flex it himself, but he managed to get this for us. Enjoy these visuals. Thank you for watching.